So welcome to our short Japa workshop, and today we will do a couple of things. One of them is that we will listen to Srila Prabhupada's tape of chanting Japa. He has two famous tapes with Japa. One is where he chants very fast, and one is where he chants slower. And this slower one we will play, and we will try to chant synchronized with Srila Prabhupada. Chanting with Srila Prabhupada or any other phenomenal chanter is very favorable for our japa. So, if you don't have devotees who are very serious chanters, we can always have Srila Prabhupada's japa tape. We will speak about when it is good to chant, the times, about attention, about chanting with love, not chanting mechanically, but chanting with feeling, chanting with understanding that God is a person, He is not just a machine, or like wish-fulfilling machine or order supplier. Then we will speak about why japa should be a top priority in our day and how to make it top priority. Then we will speak about some practical arrangements like Japa Success Partnership, where you can find your buddy or a partner, success partner, and you have a friend or another devotee, and then you report to each other about how are you doing. So you are monitoring your progress with the help of another person. When we know that we are going to report to somebody else, we are more serious. If we just report to ourselves, the mind may trick us, and then we may not be so serious. But when you will report to someone, and if you're lying, then you also feel very bad about this. So we cannot. It's a good. Actually, this is good for any habit that you want to develop, any kind of discipline. When you have partnership with someone who is also serious, and then you report to each other. I have some people reporting to me sometimes, then they disappear, they don't report anymore for weeks. And I, from time to time, ask them, are you still there? Are you alive? And things like that. So, I will start with of course, Shastra, and we have a very important quote in the Madhya Lila, 22nd chapter, text 113. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, of all the instructions of the spiritual master, the instruction to chant 16 rounds every single day is the most essential. The most essential. So if something is most essential, then it's worth it making it our top priority. Like when devotees have problems, I always tell them, I ask them, I check if they are doing the basic practices, the basic things. So whenever you're in trouble, go back to basics, to understanding what do you want and what are the principles you live by. Principles and values you live by. Are you living your principles? Are you living your values according to your values, according to what is most important to you? And usually the answer is no, because you will not be frustrated if you live by your principles, if you are striving to live by your principles, and if you are making the most important things in your life your top priority. So if you think, I'm going to chant during the day, I'm going to finish my rounds here and there. I don't know how to say it in English, but Prabhuji understands. In Serbian, we call it mantruckanje. You understand mantruckanje? Mantruckanje means it's like a very spaced out, unserious chanting. You're chanting here and there, you're looking at your nails, you're looking here and there, you're touching something, cleaning something, and of course you're looking at your mobile phone and trying to chant and checking out the latest YouTube videos. So this kind of chanting is inattentive chanting, and it doesn't show God that chanting is your top priority, that japa is your top priority. So very important question in discussing about japa that we want to explore is, how can I show Krishna that I'm serious about my japa? You can have many ways you can show him, but one way to show him is that you get up early and chant in the morning 16 rounds in one go. For some time, or occasionally, I start a movement called 16 rounds in one go. And then this is a Facebook movement. So on Facebook, I make an initiative and I challenge my friends. I have about 800. And I make an initiative, and then some of them object. That's amazing. They object to this golden proposal. I can't understand this. They say, oh, you see, we're busy, and Prabhupada said 4 in the morning, 4 in the noon. So... Huh?
One for breakfast?
Yeah, before every meal, 4. I don't know, it's 4 meals. There is usually 3 meals, so I don't know. Prabhupada said 4 meals. If it's 3 meals, then you have to do 5 and something. 5 and 1/5. No, 5 and 1/3 of the round. So that's 27, I think. Yeah. No, 27 is 4th. 33 plus 3. 36. 36. So you do 5 rounds and 36 beats, and you will, if you chant 5 before every meal, you will complete your 60 rounds before dinner. Now, what serious chanters do, they make it a sacred time, sacred place. They prepare a place. They have maybe a little altar and light incense. I don't do it because it suffocates me, or put some flower, offer flower, something. And so sacred time for japa, maybe they prepare themselves by some breathing or reading Shikshashtaka, or a little prayer. You can do anything you like, any kind of ritual. But the most simple thing is to chant Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda, and get into your japa and chant. We chant so many mantras, we chant so many jais, but Prabhupada never chanted jai this, jai that. He just finished Maha Mantra, we chant with Maha Mantra, and we chant so many mantras. Sometimes Kirtan is 4 Maha Mantras and so many other mantras, because we don't have a taste for Maha Mantra. Then we want some variety so that the mind is pleased. And then we chant very little Maha Mantra, very little. So making japa a top priority will help us to be more determined, more focused, more disciplined when we are chanting. And when you do this, then your day is already successful. Even if you do nothing whole day, you have already done some yagya, 2-hour yagya. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, of sacrifices I am japa, and you have earned some spiritual credits on your spiritual bank account. So once Srila Prabhupada finished 16 rounds, Shrutakirti Prabhu, who was his personal secretary, he reports this. He told this story that he was present when Prabhupada finished 16 rounds and then put aside his japa, and he said, now I can do any damn thing. So this is the feeling. Srila Prabhupada illustrates the feeling of victory, private victory, personal victory, when you finish 16 rounds. So therefore, determination should be first time in the morning. Of course, if you have Mangala Arati, then you can you finish after Mangala Arati rounds. You can start before. Yamuna Mataji, who is the Mataji who is singing Govinda Madhipurusham prayers, she asked Srila Prabhupada. She was very close to Srila Prabhupada. When is the best time to chant japa? And he said before Mangala Arati. So this means before 4:30. So that means you get up 4:30, no, 2:30, and then 3:30, 2:30 you start, and in 2 hours you can finish, or 2 o'clock you start, and 2.5 hours you finish. And you may say, well, if I do this, I will be finished by Bangalarti. First of all, I get up so early, and then, I will be so tired, I will be ready to sleep. Either after Mangalarti or even before Mangalarti, because I will be exhausted. But one thing that is most difficult to do, at least for me, is not to get up early, is to go to bed early. So if you want to get up at 2, when do you need to go to sleep in order to have at least 6 hours?
7, 8.
8. 7 or 8, yeah. Yes, so who can do that? I mean, this is really, really for great souls, for Mahatmas, for Hercules, people who are so strong. And we become, maybe before we joined, we had this habit that night is when the life starts. Now I'm more relaxed. Now also I feel a little bit protected by the darkness. Nobody sees me. So, and I can, usually people eat and watch something. Or maybe they go out, but devotees don't go out, they stay in the temple or at home. But it's such an austerity to get into bed at 7, 8. I mean, this is like extreme austerity. It's harder than having a cold shower. It's harder than getting up after 3 hours of sleep. And I tried, many times in my life I tried to sleep early, and you try to sleep but you can't fall asleep. So you end up listening to 6 lectures. And you may think, oh my God, maybe I'm in ecstasy, I'm listening to 6 lectures. And then you see, oh, it's 1 o'clock, how can I get up at 4? My next day is ruined, And if you wait until you naturally get tired, so maybe around 11 you get tired, or 12 or 1, but then there is little left before, the time that you want to get up, 4 or 3. I like to get up at 3 and have like 6 rounds before Mangalarati, and then finish before 7 or by 7. I chant slower. So you can have a couple of goals. You can finish by Mangalarati, that's top class. Then by 7 you can finish, and Prabhupada said at least by 10 a.m. At least by 10 a.m. So these are some of the ways how we can show Krishna that we are serious about our japa. And when finished, we offer obeisance. We say, Krishna, I have finished by 10 for you, and I will not stop. I will continue chanting throughout the day, maybe without beads, while cooking, while doing something. But I have done the prescribed number that Acharya has prescribed, and I have done my duty, and I pray to you to accept it and to be pleased with this, and I will continue chanting throughout the day. So these are some of the ways we can make it a top priority, and we can show Krishna that we are serious about our japa. Before we go into chanting with Srila Prabhupada, I want to mention that to chant with attention, of course, the mind will drift away when we try to chant. There will be so many thoughts. So what to do? Srila Prabhupada said, just continue chanting, continue trying to focus. I like to close my eyes and then I focus on the sound that is coming from my mouth. But it shouldn't be mechanical, and be careful. Many devotees don't chant 60 rounds. So don't be the one. It doesn't matter if you're new or experienced. Some devotees chant 16 rounds for so many years, but they don't chant 16 rounds. Why? Because they skip the names. They skip the syllables also. So don't develop a habit of chanting improperly. And how will you know that you're chanting properly? What do you think?
By listening to yourself.
Hmm?
By listening to what you're chanting.
Yeah, but by listening...
Your last will mean somebody else. I mean, when I chanted this, I was not chanting, and then somebody else told me, "Hey."
Did you get angry?
I mean, when he told not, no, then I was telling thank you because.
But for me, I told them he will get angry.
Yeah. Whatever somebody.
People get angry when you ask them about their chanting, or when you tell them that they don't chant properly.
One time I'm recording my chanting, and after I miss that, I'm not satisfied so much with, and then I try again, and that is very nice now.
This is what I wanted to say. Thank you. When you record yourself, you may think, "Oh, I know I'm recording myself, so I will chant properly." But there is no way that every day you're chanting improperly and that you will be so able to control your mind so much that while recording you will not make mistakes. This is not possible because this day's habit is there, and your mind will drift away and you will skip the names. So recording is a very, very honest and very, very practical way to check whether you are chanting 16 rounds, all the syllables, all the names, and then you can push yourself to have more focus, more attention, pray for this to Krishna. And I was joking in Radhadesh, we can listen to the recording of our japa and cry together because it's so poor. You have like a bona fide lamentation.
Japa police.
Huh?
Japa police.
Japa police, yeah. We can lament like acharyas are teaching us how to lament for Krishna. Oh, when the day will come when my japa will be 16 rounds, full and complete. So this, my pen, this should be on my list here, recording. So we can pray to Krishna to give us the power to focus and to have attention, to chant with attention and to chant with love, to chant with affection, to understand that we don't want to neglect Krishna. If you love someone, you don't pronounce their name absent-minded, like spaced out. But pronunciation of the name of the person you love is full of emotion. So we sometimes chant very mechanically, no emotion. It's just, let me finish, let me finish, let me finish. This is the, So with this kind of approach, we will not get very good results with japa. And japa is a constant prayer, and also it's constant crying for Krishna, like a child for a mother. So you may say, maybe I should make a face like I'm crying. Maybe this will help me, or maybe other will think that I'm a very high-class chanter. I'm crying. Or in India, sahajas, they take onion and garlic, and it induces tears. It creates tears, and they want to show that they are crying for Krishna when they are chanting kirtan. So all these kind of things, this kind of cheating will not help us. We want to honestly chant from our heart.
It must be smelly tears, no?
Huh?
It must be smelly tears. Smelly tears, no? From onion and garlic should have a smell of it.
I haven't been with them. Fortunately or unfortunately, it's fortunate for them I wasn't there, because I would be there, I would be little angry. Now, when you prepare for chanting, if possible, just remove all the distractions and make a determination that you will not use your gadgets, your electronic gadgets. Don't touch them, lock them up or whatever. Don't turn them on. People wake up with the phone. They fall asleep with the phone. And unless battery is off during the night, in the morning the first thing is to look at the screen. And then when you start Japa, you think, well, there is already so many things happening on Facebook. How can I now I will be, I will miss so many things, and there is this dog is dancing. So you leave the gadgets, and when you finish, you can turn on your gadgets. You don't have to eat during Japa. You can, but you can drink. You can drink because sometimes you're thirsty and your mouth is dry. But don't drink like alcohol. You may say, well, I want to drink a little bit for inspiration, I guess. Little beer. Then don't drink some super fancy drinks, or don't drink a beer without alcohol also, because it has the same taste. Drink water, or maybe a few drops of lemon, but don't make it like a super enjoyable drink, because then you will focus on enjoying the drink and not on chanting Japa and pleasing Krishna. When I was in Ireland, one devotee said, I'm not very pleased when I chant. And one Prabhu, his name is Arjuna, strong, he said, yeah, you are maybe not pleased when you chant, but Krishna is pleased, so therefore you should chant. Very common sense advice, but it's $1 million advice. Even if we don't have a taste, it's very important to understand that our spiritual bank account is growing with every Mahamantra. And of course, occasionally we have to check if we are making any offenses, because offenses also are preventing us from having high quality Japa and high quality Kirtan. So to remove the obstacles also. Now, you have heard that there is so many Japa retreats, Japa seminars, Japa workshop. This is also one small, but they're recorded. They're on YouTube. You can see them again and again. You can get inspiration. You can practice with them, and you can take advantage of this knowledge. There is devotees who wrote books about chanting Japa. There is manuals how you can keep track of your progress. You can use what I mentioned, this Japa Success Partnership. So do anything you can to show Krishna that you are serious about your Japa. People come to retreats sometimes, and they have great time. They have experienced the taste of the holy name. They have really surrendered for a couple of days, and then after 1 week maybe they forget it. So therefore I was, to some seminar leaders, I was suggesting to organize these Japa Success Partnerships, where when you leave the seminar, you have a partner already and you are going to report to each other. So that's very powerful when you do a follow-up. So whatever training you do in any area of Krishna consciousness, follow-up is what will bring you results, not the seminar. Seminar is a nice time, maybe there is some snacks. I'm sorry, I don't have snacks today. Maybe, we are laughing, we have a nice association, but what we have learned, we will benefit from only if we apply it seriously. And for serious application, you need follow-up, and you need people to follow up on you. You need someone to monitor you, or you need someone to help you to monitor yourself. So when people set goals, I tell them, you are not accountable to me, you are not responsible to me for your goals, but through me, you are responsible to your goals. And I'm like a medium to help you with that. Okay, so now we will chant together with Srila Prabhupada. We can chant one round, 108 times. It will take some time. And after this, we can have questions and your sharing your experiences and challenges with Japa. You can share things and you can ask questions. If you have Japa, you can take it. Otherwise, you can chant on your fingers. And do you know? Okay, I will explain.
You know, actually, there is now also application.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. So thank you very much for participating in this exercise of chanting with Srila Prabhupada. What you can do, you can start your japa, one round with Srila Prabhupada and finish with, so this means 2 rounds with Srila Prabhupada. You can only start or you can only finish, so you can choose. But in everyday japa, it is good to chant 1 round with Srila Prabhupada. It will maybe take you longer than you, or maybe shorter, than you usually chant, but it's very nice to hear Srila Prabhupada in his mood of chanting, his devotional mood. And then try to follow it throughout other 14 rounds or 15 rounds. Let me see. Now I think we can have questions and answers about Japa. And before that, I want to mention a very important thing. I highly recommend that you hear at least one Srila Prabhupada's lecture a day. It doesn't matter if you listen to other preachers and whatever other things you listen, and if you can chant 1 round japa with him and maybe listen to his bhajans throughout the day, you make sure you are associating with Srila Prabhupada, who is our Acharya, who is our Shiksha Guru, who is our grandfather Guru, and in this way you will have a benefit of associating with a pure devotee. I have seen that devotees who are associating Srila Prabhupada regularly, they almost never leave. They always stay. Even if something happens to their guru or something happens to other devotees or some authorities, they have so much faith because their practice of Krishna consciousness, their presence in the Krishna consciousness movement is based on their faith in Srila Prabhupada. It's very important. Can you just put japa on this? We don't put japa on the sitting place. Okay, now let's discuss. You can share your experiences. You can ask questions about chanting, any challenges that you face, any miracles that you have experienced during japa. Maybe you have started levitating or something. So maybe you started flying. Maybe you have entered alpha state and then Krishna came into your alpha state and said, you wake up and listen to the japa. Don't go into alpha state. So, yes, please. Yes?
I have a question. Sometimes I had this time where I was when I get trained by Prabhupada was chanting, and then it was intense focus only on the morning program, and sometimes was like that. I went early to bed, make perfect arrangement, next day cold shower and everything. It was everything perfect, sleeping, waking up. But then when I started Japa, the mind was not here. This was not perfect. But sometimes there was days I didn't sleep well and days. But when I chanted, it was more easier to think. So it seems like you can do the best preparation, but then when it's come to Japa, then sometimes it's sometimes it works, sometimes it's not works.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's what can I do that's, you know.
If preparation doesn't help, then don't do it. Because the point is to have high quality japa. So, if preparation doesn't help you, then save time.
Sometimes it helps, sometimes not. Sometimes you have very bad sleep. You go and then chant the japa is good, and then I was thinking how it is possible.
Sometimes it's like pulling the tractor, isn't it? Sometimes it's so hard. Mm-hmm. Sometimes devotees say, "Oh my God, some heavy energy is here. I can't even I cannot chant. My tongue doesn't want." So I think this is because of our habit of not chanting for a couple of lifetimes or a couple of million of lifetimes, and now Krishna is testing us, Maya is testing us to see how serious we are. And I'm sure if you're determined to, have focused japa, after some time it gets easier. Sometimes it takes 8 rounds to get easier, at least for me. 8 rounds, then you say, oh, now I'm really chanting, because this was struggle to come to some point where you can really chant. So again, showing Krishna that you are serious about your japa. When you are tired, when you are not tired, when you are showered, when you are not showered, when you had a wonderful preparation or no preparation, but just, Krishna, please help me, I want to show you that I'm serious about my japa. And one of the greatest diseases that we have is interrupted japa. Therefore, I recommend 16 rounds in one go. The mind will scream, no, phone, laptop, food, toilet. Okay, toilet you can do. You have to do it, otherwise your japa will get wet. So, but other people interrupt you. Then, I have to save this person. He or she needs my help. Of course, if somebody is sending you a message, I'm going to commit suicide, then you can interrupt your japa. But this is very, very rare. So japa time is sacred. Interrupting is offensive. And it's like you are like if you have a girlfriend and you say, "Oh, I love you so much," and then you go to a Govinda's restaurant, not any restaurant, Govinda's restaurant, and then she starts to tell you something, and then you look at other girls, or you look at pictures of Krishna, or So, if you say someone that you love them, then you give them attention, isn't it? You give them attention, full attention. You can't wait to hear what is the next thing they can say. Of course, couples in the beginning, maybe they're a little bit like this, but then later, usually husbands, they don't listen. They say yes, yes. And also, husbands don't listen, and ladies talk too much. So, so you have this balance. If you are lucky, your husband is a therapist or a coach. He likes to listen. For a woman, I says. And if you are lucky to get a wife who doesn't talk too much, she also likes to listen. So you can listen together to Prabhupada. you can hold your hands, because hold your hands and listen to Prabhupada, and you can watch at the sunset on a bench at the top of the hill. last couple of years I was preaching to devotees, because devotees become so cruel to each other, especially husband and wife, insulting each other. And so I'm preaching them to have a dinner with candles, 12 compliments a day, and 12 hugs a day. If you have 12 hugs a day and 12 compliments a day, how can you fight? I mean, there is no chance. I mean, you will laugh. If you start to fight, we will say, my dear, the next hug is coming. So let so why we want to spoil our next compliment and our next hug with a fight? We don't want to spoil it, Our marriage is not Hollywood, it's Hollywood. And holy wood means Vrindavan. Vrindavan is a holy wood. And Vrindavan means Krishna consciousness, Krishna conscious atmosphere. And Vrindavan means love, pure love for Krishna among devotees. So, how did we come to this topic?
Because of if you love someone.
Listening. About listening, yeah. Now, regarding, when you get married, maybe your wife will say, I want that we chant together. And you say, oh no, I cannot chant even alone. What is she? She's chanting so loudly. It can be vice versa. It's not that, something is wrong with ladies. Also, husband can chant too loud. And she may say, oh my God, he wants to chant with me. He's too romantic, too sentimental. He wants to chant with me and he's chanting too loud. I can barely hear myself. Now I have to hear him also. And when you chant with others, usually when I chant with others, I put earplugs. Because anyway, I hear them even through earplugs because they chant louder than me. Next question? Yeah.
I have one question. When we very tired or sick, that is offenses if we lay down in bed and chanting or not?
No. Better to chant lying down than not chanting or torturing yourself by some position that you cannot take because of weakness. Any position you can chant.
Because Padma Purana says who don't sit properly when chanting, and that is not possible to take Krishna Prema or...
What about walking?
Yes.
Padma Purana says about walking something?
Yes.
What? Padma Purana? Does it say about walking? You can walk? Also? You can.
Yes.
Yeah, walking or sitting. For many people it's hard to sit for a long time like this, in a Turkish or lotus. It's more Turkish than lotus. Turkish. So walking is recommended. I sometimes have pain in my back. I lay in my stomach, but my head is like this, and I chant, because I have pain for 1 round or something. But I think if you are sick, Padma Purana will not object too much. And all the acharyas who have written this, yes.
Another question, during the day, morning is everything so easy to chant, even 16 on the row. But during day, it's so difficult even to chant 2 or 3. So I have no chance then to divide it into 4. Even 4 is so much.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Don't chant the whole day. You can chant extra. You can chant extra rounds, spaced out rounds during the day, but 16 rounds in the morning when it's easier. It's easier.
Yeah, it's easier.
Just just beat your head. I did this when I was a new devotee. I was beating my hand against the wall because my sadhana before I joined was sleeping till noon. And all of a sudden I'm getting up at 4, and it was first month or 2 months was like, oh my goodness. Then lecture. How can you stay awake in the lecture? I mean, the lecture is so peaceful. So do 16 in the morning, and then during the day you can chant any quality, any kind. But for some people it works to divide it. So you have to find what works for you. But it's very important to make an effort to chant 16 rounds first thing in the morning, or, Japa, Mangalarati, Japa, finish like this. And if you're slow or something, then at least by 10. And Srila Prabhupada is very strict about this. In one conversation he says, if you don't finish your rounds in one day, next day don't eat, don't sleep, finish your rounds. So we should not come to a position where we have time for everything except for completing our rounds. It's like the most important thing. Yes?
When we going to a job and don't finish 16 rounds in morning, I think that is okay in evening time.
Yes.
Your finish rounds.
Yes. You don't go to sleep until you finish your rounds. But don't make it a regular habit to go to bed late, because then in the morning you're tired, and again you're bringing round. If you are so sick that you cannot finish rounds in one day, then finish them the next day. Or if it's too much, then spread it over a couple of days. Like if you have missed 16 and you cannot complete 32 next day, then do 20, 20, 20, 20, and you will finish. You will make up for these rounds that you have missed. But don't miss one round. We used to chant on Ekadashi 25, so we have a lot of credit, but we shouldn't miss rounds because we have chanted more before. We shouldn't miss. We should always make up for the rounds. Write it down, and then sometimes devotees tell me I have 100, in minus, and I tell them spread it. Do 4. If you can do more, you can do. If you can do 10 extra, then you can do 10 in one day. But every day it's not so hard to do 16 plus 4, and then you can make up for the missed rounds. But again, I'm always going back to the same point. I want to show Krishna that I'm serious about my japa, and that I respect the holy name so much. I value holy name so much that I don't want to miss even one round. And then you will see, Krishna will be pleased with you. Yes?
I have questions about, we hear always japas, everything, you have to chant everything, then everything will solve. For me, it's then question like how it works with like these anarthas. If you chant, what happened with these anarthas? They just disappear, or I heard one time if you chant, the anarthas will come up, and then you clean. Or what is actually happening if you chant with anarthas?
We always chant with anarthas because we have anarthas.
And then what is then happening then?
What you might have heard is that if you chant with offenses, then anarthas increase. Not if you chant purely. If you chant purely, anarthas, you get free from anarthas.
So they just disappear, or?
At least half to start with. Krishna can take away all our conditioning in a second. But because we are so slow, we don't have great faith, then it takes time. But every day, try to show Krishna that you are serious. You see, maybe you have read some self-help books. The difference between Krishna consciousness and modern success philosophies is that they say that you are the doer, you are the only doer. And we know we are not the only doer. Our formula for success is personal effort plus God's mercy equals success. And for them, it's you, your effort, your desire, your goals, your clarity. And we know it's not a complete picture. So similarly, whatever you want to do with your japa, pray to the Lord. Pray. My father once asked Dhananjaya Prabhu from Croatia. He's a legend. He's like a first Sankirtan devotee, I think, in a former Yugoslavia. So I wasn't there, but he stayed with my parents to do Sankirtan in my hometown, book distribution. They gave him small room, and he would chant in the morning, and my father would hear him. I think maybe he was chanting a little bit louder, but my father didn't mind. He just asked him, "Why are you repeating this all the time, the same thing?" And he told him, "When you love someone, you want to repeat their name again and again." So my father is always calling Radha, Radha, because my mother's name is Radha.
Oh wow.
So, but Dhananjaya Prabhu didn't know that. He could have easily told him. I mean, I would say this if I was there, that as you are always calling Radha, Radha, or Radha, Radha, because you love your wife, my mother, you love your wife. Then similarly, we love God and we repeat His name. So we are coming back to this point. When you chant with love, then all the intelligence will come. Krishna will empower you. You will have a taste. Sometimes we feel like there is 1 ton of weight on our tongue. We can chant. And sometimes it's so easy, like we think maybe Radha and Krishna, or at least Gaur-Nitai, are dancing on our tongue. Maybe Radha Krishna is too high. But Gaur-Nitai, I don't know why it's not said in the Shastra. I think maybe in some Shastra it says that also Gaur-Nitai are chanting on your tongue when you're chanting. Or maybe when you're chanting Kirtan, they are chanting on your tongue. And when you're chanting Japa, then Radha and Krishna are chanting on your tongue. Dancing on your tongue. Chanting on your tongue.
That is sweet.
Huh?
That is sweet to chant on tongue.
To chant on your tongue. But we are trying to chant on our tongue. You had a question?
Yeah, some devotees say like you have to chant with feelings, you have to put the feelings inside, but how you would have to feeling if you're not really the faith to Krishna or the relation to Krishna is not deep, because it's like still Krishna is for me like some picture I'm trying to develop. So how you put feelings into chanting?
I give you some Facebook wisdom. Why are you laughing? I mean, it's our reality. Somebody wrote that cure for everything is love, and if it doesn't work, then increase the dose.
Increase the what?
Increase the dose.
Dose.
Increase the amount of the medicine.
Okay.
So more love.
Yeah.
So similarly, if your chanting doesn't work, increase your chanting. If there is no feeling, chant more. Try to chant more with feeling. Pray to Krishna. And I was looking for a job only once in my life, 99, 2000. Fortunately, I didn't get it. Devotees gave me a job and paid me for this in London. And I was looking for a job, and they're looking for someone with experience. So I asked him, so how will I get experience if you don't employ me? So also when I do life coaching with devotees, they tell me, how can I give class? I have no experience. So I say, but I'm creating for you an opportunity to gain experience by giving class today. When will you give class and how will you get experience if you don't start?
Yes.
It's so stupid. I have no experience. I have no confidence because I have no experience. So how will you gain confidence? By just dreaming? You will gain confidence by doing it, by making mistakes, by being booed or tomato. Eggs we don't use.
Samosas.
Samosas. Cool. With paneer.
In that case, you can make mistakes in that case, yes. If you get samosas, yes, you can make mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good reward for a mistake. So you understand. I mean, Prabhupada describes, I always speak about the price. Okay, I share with you my favorite questions in coaching. What do you want? Do you know what is the price you have to pay to achieve it? And are you ready to pay that price? So with these three, you cannot fail. You can only fail if you say, I'm not ready to pay the price. And the price is determined by God. He are giving us so many instructions how to pay the price. And one price is Japa. Whether you like it or not, it doesn't matter. Krishna is pleased. Maybe I'm not inspired to chant. Who cares? I'm not inspired to chant. You're not chanting for yourself. You're chanting for Krishna. He is inspired to hear you. Even if you are thinking about something, like heavenly planets.
It's similar like to call your boss in the morning and say, I'm not inspired to work today.
Yes. And he said, well, I'm also not inspired to pay you.
Action and reaction.
When you say it's not fair, I'm depressed. So you take pills and you get time off, like a sick leave. Time off. My boss wounded me, I'm too sensitive. Now I have trauma because my boss is too rude. Yes?
Another question, and
I like you.
yeah.
You always have so many questions. Otherwise, people, I say this, are there any questions? When is Prasada? But you have questions. Even you stay with me. Even people all leave for Prasada.
Depends on who speak and what topic. My other question is like Prabhupada, I heard that statement Prabhupada is saying like that we should take, at least it should take like 2 hours for 16 rounds. And I also heard from other acharyas like Bhaktivinoda Thakur or someone that one round should be like between 6 and 7 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But there is this other preachers, they tell it is not important how long you should chant with feeling and like this, and what you're thinking about this?
Prabhuji, I am your lifetime researcher. Whenever you have a question, call me and I will look what Prabhupada said.
Yeah.
So, fortunately I have read something about it. Prabhupada was asked about speed, and Prabhupada told this devotee, don't worry about the speed, just chant attentively, even if it's slow. And I can find this quote. I mean, I'm going to find for you, now you are 5 wonderful devotees, I'm going to find quotes about Japa from Srila Prabhupada for you. I think I already have 1 file, but maybe it's not complete, because database is huge.
Also.
You have?
Yeah.
Please send me, so that I don't do that double job.
Yeah,
and you can read. This is also one thing I should add to my list of bullet points for the seminar, that we need Prabhupada's quotes, to inspire ourselves. Even, I mean, this is one of the amazing quotes. When I have my seminar, Financial Competence for Devotees, so I quote this. Prabhupada said, if you want to get fabulously rich, you chant 16 rounds. Yes, he said that. If you want to get fabulously rich, so you don't believe me, you want money, but your japa is not very good. So Prabhupada said, if you want to get fabulously rich, I didn't teach you any magic, just chant 16 times, please. 16 rounds. He says 16 times, but it means 16 rounds. Yes, who? Yeah? You were first.
This question I had actually a long time. There's like this 10 offenses against holy name, and there is one offense which is giving me a little bit struggle.
Uh-huh.
This is like to what is
maintain material attachments even after
even after chanting the holy name, but not to think that this holy name will clean my attachment, but on one way this holy name is my last station to this is my hope to clean my attachment, but at the same time they're telling not to do that. This. Understand what I mean? Maybe sorry, my English is not so.
No, I understand you very well, even if you don't speak. You see, not because I'm psychic, but because you already said. I mean, I understand your English. So. There is instructions for more advanced devotees, and there is instructions for beginners. And just recently I was reading, devotees are asking Srila Prabhupada, what if somebody, cannot stop with sinful activities? Should they continue chanting? And he said yes, and they will get purified, but it will take longer time. So never stop chanting, no matter what happens. Even if the horns start growing from your head, like you're obvious like demon, or this eye teeth, like have like witches or demons have, you chant Hare Krishna. With horns, imagine devil with horns chanting Hare Krishna and with the tail. I think it's all possible because chanting Hare Krishna is so universal. Even devil can be happy if he chants seriously, without offenses. We want everyone to chant Hare Krishna. Followers of ghosts, Shiva, followers of Shiva, they worship ghosts. We accept everyone. Prabhupada will accept everyone. Come on, put tilak. Ghost has a tilak. Yeah, and so one thing I want to recommend to you in general, also about chanting kirtan, chanting japa, but I want to, whenever you have a question, I will teach you how to research Vanipedia. Database is a software, you have to buy it, but Vanipedia is online, it's free, and find a category that describes your question. Answers to your question, that gives you answers to the question. There is 14,000 categories. And there is a new search recently developed, which is much better than before. So you can find a category chanting, and you can read. I think there is a category Japa. I have to see. Chanting Japa. Something in relation to chanting must be there. And of course, I will send you. I don't have all of your emails, but if you give me, I can send you. So, whenever we have a question, we should see what Srila Prabhupada said. We will get wonderful insights. And in this way, we are always connected to Parampara, connected to Srila Prabhupada, and we will have a lot of strength. We actually forget about Srila Prabhupada. Sometimes people get attracted to their present guru also, but Srila Prabhupada is Shiksha Guru of everyone, and we should take shelter of our grandfather Guru for any problem or any goal that we have. Always.
I wanted to ask you that within this lifetime, if we only surrender to Srila Prabhupada but we don't take a spiritual master, can we do real progress with our japa and to come to the level of pure japa?
Taking the shelter of a present spiritual master is actually to help you serve Srila Prabhupada better also. Especially, if you ask me whom should I choose, I say that someone for whom you're sure is a very, very strict follower of Prabhupada, very, very serious follower of Srila Prabhupada, a bona fide representative of Srila Prabhupada. And so they give us guidance. Like, for example, Sachinananda Swami has this new book. He has written several books about chanting, which are amazingly helpful, and he has given so many retreats. So the last book is called The Living Name, and I think you have it downstairs in the shop.
It's finished.
Yeah.
Sold out.
I think I heard. I haven't read it yet. I have it ready for reading in an electronic form, but I heard that this book, he has really invested time and energy to create a practical manual. So thank you for mentioning this. Somehow indirectly you mentioned that we should take advantage of the experience of serious and advanced devotees. And he has shared there, he also does an amazing research of the acharyas. He has a research team also, and he puts it in the book. So we have so much in one place. They save us time by doing this work of making a book, save us time to look for things, and we should. So I recommend this book also, A Living Name, Satchinananda Swami. So they will help us to serve Prabhupada, to serve Krishna, and their experience is extremely valuable for us, because they are chanting in the same conditions in which we are chanting also, now and here and now. And they went through so many things that are similar that we are going through. So, okay. Yes?
Sometimes we see even devotees that struggle with job or having money. Does it mean they're not chanting properly 16 rounds? Because you said if you chant 16 rounds, you become fabulously rich. So sometimes I see many times devotees who struggle with their existence, and so if you go back to the base, does it mean they're not chanting properly 16 rounds?
I'm thinking of employing you in my company.
Oh, really?
Gita coaching company. That your job is quite lazy. You like that?
I like lazy.
I was thinking that's right. You just ask me very good questions.
Yes.
I give answers. We record it. We sell it, and we get rich. Because you have excellent questions. Excellent questions. In my experience with devotees, spiritual people who fly 30 centimeters above the ground, whenever I speak about money in my classes, no one sleeps. When you say money, some molecules in the rooms. And if you look at Prabhupada's teachings, if you search for money, there is so much money. In Prabhupada's teachings, he spoke about wealth, abundance, money. These are all money quotes. So, can I attempt to translate your question?
Yes, please.
If Prabhupada said, by chanting 16 rounds, you will become fabulously rich, does it mean that we don't have to do anything else? Is it a little bit, this may be a little bit behind your question?
Yeah, maybe.
Yes.
I mean, a little bit also, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. So, I have news for you. It doesn't mean that. Chanting 16 rounds is a basis to get our head together, is a way to get our head together so that we have more brain, more intelligence, even more financial intelligence. So when you have a good head, and a good head at the end of your japa, now you are ready to be smart. You are even more intelligent by chanting. You are ready to be smart, and you can face any challenge like lack of money during the day. But if your japa is sloppy, you are just trying to finish inattentive chanting, then you will be in anxiety about poverty. About poverty. So, as Prabhupada said, now I can do anything. So when you finish 16 rounds, you can make any money. You can do any job. You are ready to work. You are ready to not be lazy. Devotees come to me and say, "Yeah, Prabhu, I have no money." And then I ask him, "But do you work?" He said, "Well, it's difficult to get a job." So when in the history of this planet there was no work? This is a myth. It's a myth. So I give a very simple advice. Go to your neighbor, ask him if you can wash his car. Don't ask to pay you. Don't ask for money. Just say, can I wash your car? I saw somebody wrote, wash me on your car, so I came to offer to wash your car. And he said, okay. And then maybe he will give you something. But if you are giving, so what is the secret of making money? The secret of getting money is actually to start giving. Not only money, to give money you cannot give because you don't have it. But if you have something, you can give half in charity. And as I said, we can have, this group, if you are interested in Japa and money, we can meet again and you can bring in more people. Of course, we will have more people in the financial seminar than Japa seminar. So invite people that we have financial competence for devotees, or how to get rich, or you can give it a flashy title. How to get rich and don't go to hell, for example. Huh?
Rich monk.
Rich monk, yeah. Monk who bought a Ferrari, not who sold Ferrari. This is even more attractive, isn't it? This is attractive title. Huh?
In the Ferrari.
Okay, monk who bought an orange Ferrari. And then we say, oh, that's cool. So I can have my, brahmachari orange dress and Ferrari. And write, I'm not getting married. So you may be sure that you will attract more girls in this way, because you're unaccessible. That's more attractive. Now I'm giving you extra bonus. You didn't even pay me for this. How to get married. This is not fair. But I like you. You were giving me a lot of value with your questions, so I can give you bonuses, free bonuses. Very good question. So do you understand? You chant 16 rounds, then you are ready to work, not to sit.
Yeah. Then the work will also come. Will attract the work jobs.
Whether it comes or you look for it, you will get work. It may come, but if it doesn't come, you don't wait. You go and find it. You told me yesterday something that you're waiting.
Yeah.
So waiting is a very, very ineffective strategy. In my seminars, can you give me one sticker?
This one?
Yeah. In my seminars, if anyone in my audience has €100, here is francs. If anybody in my audience has 100 francs or €100, or maybe 100 francs is not much, 200 francs, I hold it like this and I say, who wants this money? And then they smile and they sit and they look at me and I say, who wants this money? And then they say, I. And I say, I don't believe you. Who wants this money? And then sometimes yes, sometimes not. Somebody gets up, comes, picks it up, and I give them a picture of Krishna. Because this is not my money. But the point is, if you want something, get up and grab it. Don't wait. And don't wish. Don't wait, don't wish. Get up and grab it. Yesterday I showed, Prabhuji, can you show my secret that I showed you yesterday, my secret of success? This is the greatest secret of success. He's a great assistant. Okay, so what does this mean? I will translate for you. I will not torture you to think. This means daily practice. Daily practice. So key to success is daily practice and daily investments. Like the key to a relationship is investing every day in that relationship. Doing something that builds trust. So key to high quality japa is everyday praying, everyday making an effort, showing Krishna that it's a top priority, stopping everything else. Just these 2 hours is with Krishna, 2.5 hours, whatever. Anything that is important to you, give it time, give it energy, give it love, and show that you're serious, and then you will get results. So nothing can replace work. You can be smart. I encourage that. Prabhupada was speaking about lazy intelligence. Prabhupada said, tells a story. He was teaching his disciples not only to be spiritual, but to be also smart, even materially. So one devotee was asking him something about money, that the temple is struggling. And Prabhupada said, 2 men are talking, and 2 friends, and one says, ask the other, are you smart? And then he does go like this. He said, no, I'm not, you see. If I would be smart, I would have pockets full of money. So, one of the success secret number 2. This is number 1. Daily investments, daily practice. Number 2, UYI, UI. UYI, UI. It means use your what? Intelligence. Use your intelligence. We are more lazy mentally and intellectually than physically. We don't like to think. I just made a post before you came here on Facebook. I have a Gita coaching group on Facebook, and then there I post something for coaches or for clients. So you came to me for coaching to solve your problems, but I told you, coaching means you jump, and I say jai. That's coaching. So what does that mean? I can be a top coach, have amazing tools, but if you don't do the work after the session, you will not get results. And it's your fault, because you are not doing the work. Now, about lazy intelligence, what I wanted to say, to achieve more with less effort is desirable, but use your intelligence. For example, you tell me, there is orange on this table there, and I want it. And I'm asking myself, how can I get this orange without getting up from here? What do you think? Yes. Yes. Or if you are mystic yogi, you can extend your hand and reach there. You can reach to Australia if you are a yogi. With this, but this I don't have at the moment. I don't have these mystic powers, maybe in the future. So ask someone else for help, or ask me any questions. How can I do this and that? And then you can think, okay, how can I do it faster? How can I do it with less effort, with less energy? It's not lazy intelligence, it's lazy intelligent. If you say lazy intelligence, this is not correct, because your intelligence is not lazy when you're lazy. You're using intelligence to achieve more with less effort. So lazy intelligent means person who is using his intelligence to do less effort. Now, I don't know how you do this. One devotee asked me, can I pay you to chant my rounds? Did I chant his rounds? So this I don't recommend. This I don't recommend. He said, would it count if I pay someone to chant my rounds? I say, Okay, any other questions or comments? So we can slowly wrap it up.
Is it possible to chant for other people?
Yes, but not 16 rounds. If they chant 16 rounds, you can chant extra for them. chanting for others is good, but it's better to get them to chant. Better for them. Or both. Again, okay, success secret number 3. Nothing happens until you push yourself or others or both. You have to push. So you have to push yourself for japa. It will not happen. The mind will say, come on, one more day you can relax. From Monday you are starting your serious japa. Then from the next Janmashtami, then from always delaying. And you say, my dear mind, please shut up. I said I will do it today. Shut up! He said, okay. Then after he says, but. Mind is very obedient when you get strict, but he's always waiting for his chance to distract you. If you are addicted to your phone, you should make a screensaver which says, leave me while you're chanting your japa. In this way, your phone preaches to... Okay. Thank you very much for coming. I want to distribute you a little gift with another stickers.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for taking your valuable time. And we can have more workshops on any topic. I'm not scientist like a rocket science, but any topic related to life skills, Krishna consciousness, success, practice of Krishna consciousness, doubts, ISKCON politics, anything you like, we can speak about.
Topic, wat interesseert was.
What?
No, short question.
Yes, short question.
You told us to many years we chanting and maybe we don't chanting 16 rounds. Then I heard many opinion about when we chanting Hare Krishna, we chanting Hare Ram without A or O. That is okay or not okay? Because some tell when you chanting Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare, that you lose for O or I. And then when you go to finish rounds, that is so many
Less.
yes.
You chant Rama.
But I heard from another that is Srila Prabhupada chanting Ram sometimes.
I think you can hear short A in his chanting. Because Mahamantra is 16 syllables.
Yes.
So this 16 syllables. Otherwise it is less syllables if you chant Ram. So you can chant Rama. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much.